Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the first official trailer for She-Hulk with a new subtitle, Attorney at Law, coming to Disney Plus later this year, I assume. Does it say August 17th? She-Hulk is one of those characters that I do not know anything about. The only times I've ever seen her is when she was interacting with the Avengers or any of the ensemble casts when I was collecting comics back in the day. Collected comics for almost 15 years, so whether she's been part of Civil War, Secret Invasion, Nexus, all them crossover events back in the early to mid 2000s, that's the only times I've ever interacted with her. I think this is the 7th Disney Marvel show. We've had not Captain America, we've had the Bucky and Sam Wilson show, Loki, WandaVision, Moon Knight, Hawkeye. Upcoming we've got Miss Marvel, and I assume this is going to be coming out after Miss Marvel, so the 7th Disney Plus show in the span of about 18 months. It's quite a lot of content. Plus we've had Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So as part of phase 4, there's been an awful lot of content. A lot of it's been hit or miss, so let's take a look at this trailer and see if this is going to be a hit or a miss, or in between.
Being a superhero.
Got Banner. I don't know he's in the show, but I don't know how much by. That'll be her origin. I think her origin's from a car crash. We'll get into that. I did see this from the teaser. I won't pause. We'll watch it through once and then I'll
Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman
Drinks.
law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Oh,
And
Tim
a
Roth.
frustrating family.
Cause we didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
That
Those are like
a little
the
transformation
baseline
looked
of any
like.
woman just existing. Oh. Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
The humour, the Marvel humour.
Yes. No.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
Girl,
Character design?
looks crazy right now.
The CGI looks a bit.
You could be
Wonky.
an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
That Batman reference?
Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
No, there
This is the
isn't.
best date I've had in a while.
Oh,
Should we split some fries?
let's get those to go.
Okay, all right. That's that'll be a definite kink for someone out there. There's many in the world. I'm not the target demo of this show. I think this is. It gives me Sex and the City and Ally McBeal vibes with a green woman starring in it, with like maybe a little bit of action and not bedroom action. There'll probably be more of that than actual action. From what this trailer looks like. So she's in LA, so we're on the West Coast.
Being a superhero.
These guys, I'm sure we saw these previously in Ms. Marvel. That trailer had some guys dressed similar with these kind of weapons. I don't think these are like guns or maybe even laser guns. I think these are like that them ultrasonic blasts, more sort of to deter you and sort of stop you from moving than doing anything. But it's definitely got that 90s action figure gun look, because guns are bad. So you can't show real guns. I'm not even sure what the rating of this show is. Does it even say? No. I'm assuming it's going to be probably a higher rating than Miss Marvel, because that looks like it's aimed at kids, whereas this, especially with that end scene, maybe not.
Is a trial by fire.
I like you've got generic street thugs. Generic. I don't know where you get I don't know where you get crossbows from, but yeah, generic street thugs.
Who's gonna protect?
I do know in her think if I'm correct, let me know in comments if I'm wrong, but I think her origin is she's essentially just normal, gets in an accident, and I think the only person that can help or save her is Bruce. I think he's apprehensive at that, but I know he ends up giving her something, and then that's how she transforms because she's got some of his DNA. So I do know she doesn't go through something like Bruce, like doesn't get caught in a chamber and all this other stuff. Also this. So she's driving and then veers. That don't look like how that'd happen. If he's going to randomly do that, it'd be different. Like that looks like purposeful. So unless there's someone in the car with her that grabs the wheel and does that, and that doesn't quite look right.
The world, it's not people like you.
So I did see this. This is the only thing I'd seen from I think they put out this little teaser thing a while ago. And I do know this is one of the suits that she wore in the comics. So I think this is one of the more modern ones because they all started to look like this.
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great...
Like is this the ideal life of like a successful lawyer in her 30s? You know, takeaways, booze, just consuming stuff online. It's that typical lawyer trope of TV shows where the work is the life, like day in, day out, it's their life. Everything out of that is chaos because she has no time for like a real thing, anything real. So yeah.
Friends.
Can we get some shots, please?
Yeah, you know, shots. This friend looks like she might be a little bit too much because every time you see her, like you just saw her back here, she's always dressed up a bit too much. So whether this is her successful rich friend. By successful, I mean she's rich.
Friends.
Can we get some shots, please?
I'm not even going to mention that guy. That guy's we know where that guy's
It's an
going.
emergency.
This is new. God knows what it's supposed to be though. Like, this looks more like a prison than a superhero law firm. Like, what is this? What is this? If anyone knows, let me know in the comic if this is related to something in the comics. But I'm not sure. Is it like a reforged Shield base somewhere? I'm not sure.
Demanding job.
I know Shield doesn't exist. That's definitely not Shield. That looks more like the logo for Cobra Kai at the moment.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Tim Roth. I didn't know he was going to be in this. So he's definitely been caught. I don't know in the timeline of Marvel where all this takes place. But the last time we saw him was very briefly in Shang-Chi fighting Wong in some kind of weird fight club for anyone. And I kind of assumed with his interactions with Wong that he was pretty much not classed as a bad guy. Like he was just a person. Like maybe a grey area. Could be good, could be bad. So he's been caught at this point. So whether that... this scene earlier on in where it looked like there was some hostages or something going on with red lights is because of him. Maybe he's just like a paid for hire guy. He'll do something good, do something bad, as long as he's getting paid.
And a frustrating family.
So Hulk is on an island now. So let's just go through the core Avengers from the first film and where they all are. Iron Man, dead and gone. Stark Industries. Who knows what's happening with that? I assume Pepper's running it, which... So there's no Iron Man, not yet. We will be getting a budget Iron Man when Riri Williams takes over, because I think her origins is she breaks into a place, steals one of his suits, and then I think in the comics he's like, oh, you can be an Iron Man, just because modern day. Thor... no longer on Earth. He's out in space finding himself yet again. And Thor's been taken over by Jane. So that's two characters being taken over by someone else. Hawkeye is old and deaf and pretty much handed his mantle over to Kate Bishop. Black Widow, dead, but her sister's taken over, probably. That Hulk's around, but doesn't seem to want to do Hulk things. Probably looks like he doesn't want to be seen. Still can't transform back from the Hulk and Banner, so he's still stuck in that middle ground phase. So yeah, not looking great. Oh, and Nick Fury is still around. We'll be seeing him, I think, in the Secret Invasion.
Family.
Don't think that's this year, though. So, it looks like Hulk is doing something science-based on the island, like we saw here. So, whether he's trying to cure himself, because that's one of his always ongoing storylines, is cure himself. I know in the comics before, he's been able to do something where he can strip himself out, so the Hulk is its separate own entity, like an actual separate person, and Banner is his separate person again. But I think they do end up coming back together, or he's trying to find a way so he can transform back and forth. But looks fine. It looks like the Hulk we've seen in previous films. So I don't know why the CGI for her's as bad. Maybe because these models have already been made. I don't think whoever's doing the CGI for this is new on it. They'll probably just have one of the models from one of the previous people. But it is looking leaner and leaner. Like, this could just be, Jay Cutler. It just looks like like I'd say, a normal bodybuilder. Bodybuilders aren't normal. They're superhuman, like, as it is, to push themselves to that. But it doesn't look any bigger than a in their prime, on stage, heavyweight bodybuilder.
But you still got to deal with it. Your transform.
This. There's a few things going on here. As soon as I saw this, I thought this looks cheap. Like, look, this looks as plastic as you could get. I don't know if this is a callback to anything from the TV show from the 70s, where it does look a bit like retro tech, but also cheap.
The transformations.
Whereas the rest of this reminds me of, this cage looks like what we saw from the helicarrier from the first Avengers, where they were keeping, I think they made it for the Hulk to contain him just in case, but it ended up having Loki inside it. So I'm wondering if Hulk is living or staying in an Avengers safe house, because we do know they had those scattered around everywhere, or the Hulk managed to just maybe just borrow some of this stuff in the fallout from everything that's happened.
Are triggered by anger and
At this transformation, this just reminds me of the 70s show with Lou Ferrigno.
fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
No, shut up.
Oh. Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
That didn't hit
Like,
right.
if I don't transform.
It looks like she hits it, but then the impact happens after.
I'm gonna die.
Look, she hits it, and then the impact happens. Like, that push there. So she pushes it, crushes it. Her hands are in totally different places. Her hands are in the middle, snapping the blades. Then they're at the side, pushing the wall. Like, pushing the wall. And then the impact happens. I know there is an impact force that sometimes is like the initial impact doesn't happen, and then, but this just looks a bit too like the CGI wasn't timed properly.
Yes.
Hulk's still sort of that bumbling guy. Every time we've seen the Hulk recently, he's always been like less and less. He's never been intimidating. Like, Mark Ruffalo's never intimidating. The best we got was from the first Avengers, where it's like, well, how can you just transform? What's your secret? I thought you got to be angry, and it's like, I'm angry all the time. He never seems it. He always seems completely chill all the time, and now he just seems to be going down that. I refer to it as like the Ross from Friends vibe, where he's supposed to be really smart, or like the Big Bang Theory guys, where they're supposed to be really smart, but they end up just being like really dorky, nerdy, and just a bit stupid.
No.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
But yeah, the scenes with her with the Hulk look fine, so I don't know if that's just because of the dark setting, whereas these, just from these brief segments, this doesn't look finished. Like, there seems to be like no real texture, or like just like how sharp it looks.
Anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
See, like, indoors, this looks fine. Skin looks great. You know, you got it just seems like it's not finished yet. Like the hair just looks like an action figure hair, or like you'd see on like a Hot Toys thing. It doesn't seem completely natural.
Girl, your ass.
Yeah, it reminds me of when someone's done like some like green screen replacement. It just looks like that. Like it doesn't sit right. Not because she's a muscular green woman. Like that's neither here nor there. Like just watch some CrossFit if you want to see some, you know, beautiful looking jacked up women. But she just doesn't look right.
Looks crazy right now.
This one doesn't look too bad, but then again, it's probably because it's not in direct light. Doesn't feel finished. That's the thing.
You could
Maybe the nighttime scenes are better.
Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
I can't tell if that's a knock on Batman or not, but it sort of seems like, so if you want to be a superhero, i.e. you want to help other people, it's because you're a narcissist. Basically, you're just an attention seeker and you've got problems. And it's like, oh, right, okay. So the only people that want to help people are essentially attention seekers. It's like, that's a shitty outlook, especially for a lawyer who probably has to, and probably done cases for people who have done self-defense or have had bad things happen to them. It's like, as a lawyer, that's a bit of a really shitty take. So maybe she's a lawyer for the criminals and helps the criminals out because they're the real victims in life. That guy, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but this just looks straight up like Kick-Ass. I can't see this colour combination with a mask like this without thinking of Kick-Ass. I don't know if that's supposed to be her big bad. It looked like in the last courtroom bit, because this looks like the courtroom as well. So I don't know who this is supposed to be. I don't know much of who the Rogues Gallery for She-Hulk is. She looks like she's from a circus though, like a lion or a cheetah person. So let me know if you know. I do like seeing Abomination. I do like his new look, to be honest. The more sort of, I don't know, I want to say fish-like, with these sort of talon things going on his ears and things. So I do like the change up, and especially because the first one looked like it was mostly sort of bone-like, whereas this new version I do like. This, I do know this is from one of the covers from back in the day, in the early 2000s. So I like that we're getting some calls to the comics and potential 70s show.
Is there anything more depressing
just
than dating in your 30s?
Cringe.
This is the best
I think this is to go along the lines of that sort of
some fries.
Ally
Let's
McBeal
get those to go.
Sex in the City vibe. But you know, it's a fetish. But I also get the feeling that this guy might potentially be set up to go on a date with her. He might be one of the bad guys, or working for, you know, someone who's against She-Hulk, and he's there to get information any way possible, sort of thing. So he might be using her. I'm not sure, but there might be a fetish out there for a super strong woman. Like, personally, I find a lot of CrossFit girls very, very attractive. If you look at Sarah Sigmundsdottir or Danny Spiegel, like there's a lot of very attractive CrossFit girls, so it doesn't bother me. I do actually think that She-Hulk looks more attractive facially than the woman playing her, which is a shame. Like that your CGI counterpart is better looking than you. Like Hulk now essentially looks like Mark Ruffalo. In the first film, not so much, but as time's gone on, Mark Ruffalo's appearance has come out more in the Hulk, especially in this transition where he's pretty much 50-50 Ruffalo Hulk scaled down. It's like if Mark Ruffalo went to the gym and got ripped. It's like that. But yeah, I don't think I'm the target demographic for this film. But then again, Marvel have got, they've got a lot of things out there to appeal to everyone. Well, yeah, probably appease. We've got Miss Marvel coming up, which is definitely that sort of young adult, kid, teenager thing. Definitely not for me. This probably aimed more towards the women. Like I said, I just get Ally McBeal Sex and the City vibes from this show. And then, we've had Moon Knight, which I'll be doing a review and thoughts on that later when I get the chance. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure on this show, but Marvel are putting out lots and lots of content, and I feel like they're spreading themselves potentially too thin, and the quality is definitely taking a nosedive since Endgame. Well, I'll say since Infinity War. I think that's where it peaked. Endgame was great, but not as great. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if there's any tidbits or Easter eggs or things within this that I don't know from the comics or other things. Let me know. I'm always happy to know and find out more. Those are still interesting to me. How much lore they're putting in from the comics and the world around. So let me know your thoughts below on this and everything else Marvel related. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff for the algorithms. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye.